Chapter 256. I don't trust this person. Alright, I'll wait for you here, just let me know when you're ready. Seeing that Zhu Tui had accepted the challenge, Dai Lijian was not in a hurry to fight. He took a seat at the side and sat down with his arms crossed. He closed his eyes and meditated. This was also the only thing that Dai Lijian could remain proud of. Zhu Tui nodded and walked toward his resting area. He had fought 5 consecutive battles and won 5 consecutive battles. Although he remained calm, his aura and even his state of mind were already a little impetuous. He did indeed need to think about it carefully. He needed to improve on the tactics he had used against Dai Lijian. At the same time, he also needed to discuss other matters. Although Zhu Tui agreed readily to fight Dai Lijian, he would not be careless, because this might be a matter of life and death. Zhu Tui leaned against the chair and slowly closed his eyes. He breathed in and out, adjusted his breathing, and instantly entered a meditative state. Of course, he did not enter a meditative state because he wanted to activate 1 or 2 genetic base points before the battle. With his current speed, this was possible. However, he could only activate the most ordinary genetic base points. Genetic base points that could greatly increase his combat strength could not be activated in a short period of time. However, after he entered a meditative state, Zhu Tui immediately became as calm as ever. His thoughts became extremely clear. He began to analyze the current situation of the enemy and his battle strategy. On his wrist, Zhu Tui's communication device began to heat up. Even without his instructions, A Huang had already begun to help him search for combat information and combat videos regarding Dai Lijian. In the arena, Ku Qingshan, the referee on duty, looked at Dai Lijian and Zhu Tui, who had already entered a battle-ready state. He helplessly took a deep breath. Then, Ku Qingshan looked at Wen Xiao. Mr. Wen, you're also one of the referees on duty in the Longhu list. When they fight later, you should go on stage too. Let's guard together. It was safer for each of us to take care of one person. To be honest, with their combat strength, I'm afraid that I won't be able to protect them in time under extreme circumstances. After a pause, Ku Qingshan added, one of them is a second-year dragon, and the other is about to become a first-year dragon. No matter which one of them suffered irreversible damage, it would be our school's loss. Well, take care of one each. It'll be more targeted. The moment Ku Qingshan said this, the audience who were waiting for the battle to start started discussing again. However, most of them gave Ku Qingshan a thumbs up. In the live stream, the praises and comments for Professor Ku were all over the screen. Wen Xiao, who was so agitated by Zhu Tui that he did not speak for a long time, thought about it and agreed on the spot. Alright, Mr. Ku, you've considered everything. How about this? I'll guard Dai Lijian, and you'll guard Zhu Tui. Wen Xiao took the initiative to make the arrangements. Zhu Tui, who was deep in thought, frowned slightly. Ku Qingshan's arrangement was very reasonable and thoughtful. In a battle of this level, 2 teachers should indeed be on duty. It was the right thing to do. However, Zhu Tui felt a little uneasy. It was mainly because Zhu Tui was worried about Wen Xiao. It was not that he doubted Wen Xiao's bottom line as a teacher. It was just that Wen Xiao's previous actions had made him suspect that. On the stage, Ku Qingshan heaved a sigh of relief when he saw Wen Xiao agree. In his opinion, he would do his best to protect Zhu Tui after Wen Xiao went on stage. He would do his best to ensure that Zhu Tui's life would not be in danger in this battle. As Wen Xiao stepped onto the arena, Ku Qingshan asked Dai Lijian and Zhu Tui as usual. After the battle begins, I will be on duty to guard Zhu Tui, and Mr. Wen Xiao will be on duty to guard Dai Lijian. Do the 2 of you have any objections? Ku Qingshan asked. Dai Lijian shook his head. No objections. Zhu Tui gave an affirmative answer. Although Zhu Tui did not trust Wen Xiao, he trusted Ku Qingshan. I have an opinion. Just as Ku Qingshan nodded, a female voice suddenly sounded from the outermost corridor of the audience. The moment everyone saw this, they saw An Zhao Saxui, who was wearing a pair of jeans and a blue mask, stepping into the air. She stepped into the air and passed the tens of thousands of spectators. Her long hair fluttered in the wind as she stepped into the arena of the Longhu list. All the spectating students were shocked. Only a few students from the School of Enlightened Mind cheered. Their backbone had finally arrived. Professor An, what do you have to say about this arrangement? Ku Qingshan asked. I don't think the referee on duty is appropriate, and Zhao Soxui said. Is it strength or something else? It has nothing to do with strength. I just don't trust Wen Xiao. And Zhao Soxui glared at Wen Xiao. Wen Xiao was stunned. He was instantly enraged. If not for the fact that he had not organized his words properly, he would have cursed. After all, they were in public. If he did not retaliate properly, he might fall into a trap. Damn it, and Zhao Soxui, did you come here just to scold me? There was no problem with his strength. In that case, she was scolding him for having a bad character. Wen Xiao was furious, and Zhao Soxui and her disciple were making fun of him today. It was Tumek. Angshuakshu, what do you mean you don't trust me, Wen Xiao? Tell me clearly. Wen Xiao organized his words and asked in anger. And Zhao Soxui glanced at Wen Xiao disdainfully and ignored his question. She turned to look at Ku Qingshan. Professor Ku, let me take over Zutua's duty. I'm also on the list of judges who are on duty in the Longhu overall rankings. This won't violate the rules. Moreover, with me on duty, no one can say anything even if something happens, and Zhao Soxui said. Ku Qingshan immediately understood what Zhao Soxui meant. It was not that Zhao Soxui did not believe in his strength, but she was worried that Wen Xiao would do something. To be honest, he had not thought about this before. If he did not go all out to guard against Wen Xiao, it seemed possible for Wen Xiao to do something with his powerful and strange mind power. At the same time, if Zhao Soxui took over, Ku Qingshan would not be responsible even if something happened. He was happy and relaxed. Alright, Professor N, well, do as you say. However, it's my duty. I'll be watching the entire process. I'll be the referee, Ku Qingshan said. Alright, thank you, Professor Ku. After saying that, Zhao Soxui walked straight toward Zutue. Wen Xiao was completely ignored. His nose was almost crooked from anger. FCAC came to mind. He did not know if he should give chase to reason or not. If he chased after her and reasoned, wouldn't that be a confirmation? He was even bickering with a woman in public. It was simply. But even if he didn't reason with her, it seemed to be confirmed too. Damn it! Wen Xiao was so angry that his mouth twitched. He was so depressed that he wanted to vomit blood. Ku Qingshan looked at Wen Xiao's expression and ignored him. He went to another area. He could only say that Wen Xiao deserved it. Miss Anne. Zutue stood up and greeted Zhao Soxui when she arrived. Continue to prepare. Fight without restraint. I will guard you. And Zhao Xu's words made Zutue feel relieved. Within Zhao Xu's words, the strategy that he had initially decided on was now stable. At the very least, his safety was guaranteed. Sense of security 10,000. Of course, it was not that Ku Qingshan could not do it. It was just that the sense of security that Ku Qingshan gave Zutue was a little lacking. Zutue, I'm sorry, there is too little information about the second-year dragon, Dai Lijian. The latest information is from 3 months ago. However, I found information about Dai Lijian's battle from half a month ago in the extraterrestrial database. But we won't be able to get the specific information in a short period of time. Huang's voice sounded. How long will it take? If I want to obtain the contents of the extraterrestrial database, I need to use the computer in the Research Institute to mobilize the computing power of my main body to break through the barrier and obtain the information. It will take more than 10 hours, maybe more. Huang's voice was apologetic. Huang, thank you. There's no need for that for now. Zutue took a deep breath and replayed the strategy in his mind. He checked his physical condition. His mind power was less than 70%. It was enough. Zutue would definitely lose in a tug-of-war with Dai Lijian. This was determined by the cultivation time. Therefore, he had to end the battle quickly. Professor Ku, I'm ready, Zutue suddenly said. Ku Qingshan, who was overlooking the arena, nodded when he heard that. Zutue, the ring defender, and the challenger, Dai Lijian. Please get into position and prepare for battle. Both referees who are on duty, please take your positions. I'll emphasize again that you are both teachers who are close to the challengers. You have a closer relationship with them. However, remember that your duty is only to guard. If I find anyone interfering, I'll definitely report it to the Academic Affairs Office. And Zhao Saxui nodded. Wen Xiao's lips twitched as he listened. What the FCAC? Why did it sound like he was warning him? Why did he feel so aggrieved when he heard this? However, Wen Xiao could only listen. Ku Qingshan was reminding both sides, not targeting Wen Xiao alone. If Wen Xiao dared to express any difference in opinion, wouldn't he be exposing himself? However, after hearing Ku Qingshan's warning, most of the audience thought that Ku Qingshan had specifically warned Wen Xiao. How could Zhao Saxui, such a beautiful and pure masked goddess, do such an extra action? On the other hand, Mr. Wen Xiao, who had horns on his head and was wearing a fisherman's hat, was covered in a dark glow due to the shade of the referee's place. He looked more and more like such a person. Sometimes, looks were justice. Zhu Tui took the lead and walked toward the standard combat position as Ku Qingshan shouted. Dai Lijian also took off his jacket, revealing a fiery red special-made combat uniform. This made Zhu Tui's gaze shift. Almost all of the powerful seniors wore custom-made combat uniforms. At the same time, in the Mystery Branch's office building, Zheng Shahong zoomed in on the live broadcast projection. He crossed his fingers and leaned back in his chair to watch the live broadcast. At the same time, in the Wuxia Genetic Evolution College's office building, the principal, Wen Xinglan, had also enlarged the projection. Vice Principal Han Kingsong, Wei Dejiang, Zhou Wenji, Yan Chen, Wang Rudi, and all the school leaders turned on the live broadcast at the same time.